we're going to be talking about an important concept, which is about, predicting stock prices based on the historical price movement. You know, uh, Stock prices are respected by their historical values, and they do experience support and the resistance from the same point time and again. So you should, like, if you particularly, let's say you have mastered one or two trades, let's say you have mastered Tata Steel and Reliance Infra. So you should know exactly from where the stock has bounced back time and again, right? So you should be, so interpreting those, supports and the resistances are very, very important. So let me just take you there and explain you with the help of, oh, this is the other one. Let me just take you here and let's go to the market and see what's happening in the market right now. So let's take up a stock, anything. I mean, it happens in Nifty definitely, but let's take up any stock and then see what's happening to its historical value. And as I said again and again, if you want to trade in a stock, it's most important time frame for that is 1 day, right? Your mindset will come from 1 day. Now see here, what I can see from this place, let me mark a line, that time and again stock has bounced back from this level. You can see that. Can you see that? I'm making it a little bigger, which is basically 408, right? People sit tightly, when they know that this kind of a repetition of price movement is happening, right? They sit tight. They sit with, exactly to enter at 406 or 405. The moment stock comes to this point, you can see a huge sharp buying has come. So from 406, the stock in 2 days went to 455. It's a huge movement. Like if you want to see what is the lot size of Reliance Infra, I can show you. So it's a huge amount of, movement that the stock gives, when you say price movement, repeated price movement that you're talking about. So let me take you to FNO, and I want to check what's the lot size of Reliance Infra, right? Reliance Infra is here. And let me just see, 1300 and about good 50 points. It's a huge amount that one can generate, right? Now let's see what are the resistances this particular stock is experiencing. Can you see very, very clear indication as far as the, resistance is concerned? This is right here, right? Or I would say this is a very, very clear resistance. How many times stock has reversed from the same point? See, many times. If you see here, you can go to the back, you can go to the history, and you can check many a times same points have become the resistances and same points have become the supports. So go to the past and you will see Reliance Infra had this particular value, which is 617 as a major support region. See here, in year 2011, this particular range, which is 617, was a very, very good support, right? It took a support and went up. Many days it took a support. Then come back and see here, in which year is this? This is 2011 only, but December it took a resistance from the same point and came down drastically, right? Now let's see what else has happened at the range of 617. So you have to go back, see here, precisely from the same point it has taken a resistance, right? So it is so very clear. It's not mystic. It is actual price behavior. Like there is, prices are repetitive. Like it's not that they're not absolute. They depend upon the previous values as well. The supply zone and the demand zone. So for Reliance Infra, this particular value, which is 617, has been a good, point of resistance. You can see that. And you see here, this is a very, very good, demand zone where people want to buy this 1, 2, 3. And then there's another demand zone that you can see here. This is 406. Then you have a 440 is another demand zone. Look into 408, 406 and 408. What has happened in the past? See here, huge support it has taken. You can see that it has taken a huge support from this particular point and gone up. Now at the same time, at this level it has taken a resistance. You can see at 406, in year 2015 it has taken a resistance, right? So these support lines and the resistance lines, basically they behave as a support and as a resistance time and again, right? Time and again they behave as a support and the resistance. Now say this line, which is 440, has been a resistance earlier, now it has become a support. So once, twice, thrice, four, many times it has become a support region. Now again, price is trying to take a support from the same level. So if it can take up a flight from here, if it honors this support, it may go up. And if nifty profit booking comes in, it may break it in the downward direction. So either thing can happen. Okay, let's look into some other stock which has had a repetitive, price behavior. So let's see. This is Reliance Capital, right? So let me just draw very, very clear support and support regions, right? This particular value, let me just make it more precise so that you can see it. It is 401, or I would rather say it is 400, which is a support zone or supply zone for, demand zone for Reliance Capital. Every time the stock comes to the level of 400 or 395 or 396, there is a huge buying that takes place every time. Once, twice, three, four. Another level that you can see here is this. Can you see? The other level of support is 411, right? Other level of support is 411. It has taken a support from here and it's taken a support from here. And let's see. But exactly, the same level, which is 411, was a resistance for quite some time, right? You can see that very clearly. I've shown you here. So oh god, here. So see here, this particular region, which is 411, was a resistance zone for the stock for quite some time. Let's see further. We'll go to the history and see what's happening. So let's see here. Can you see this particular value, which is in 2015? It touched the same point and came back from here, 411. Rather, it touched 407, and from there it came down. So stocks have this habit of repeatedly, experiencing the same resistance and the same supports. So you should be very, very well aware. Like when you trade, what I would suggest, if you want to trade in stock market or stocks particularly, then just identify 2-3 good stocks. Just identify 2-3 good stocks and create, understand their supports and the resistances, right? Every time it comes on a support, create a buy position. Every time it's on a resistance level, you sell it, right? You will be able to remember those very, very clearly. Let me take up some other example. Maybe I'm trading right now in HEG. Let me show you what's happening in this. Now let's see what are its support levels. So this is one support level that I can see here, which is 2625. 2625 is a very, very good support level. Then you can see another good support level is here, which is 1580. Then you can see another support level 1914. Then you can see another level from where it has bounced again and again, 2337, right? Then you have another, see this particular point here and here, 2430 is again a very, very good support zone. All right. So you can find out supports and the resistances from the one-day graph. Even sometimes I use 1 week graph as well. In a more volatile stock, I use 1 week graph as well, right? So let's see something. In SBIN, this is State Bank of India. Let's see what is the support zone. So this is a very, very clear support zone. You can see this, which is 147, right? 147, it touched many times, once, twice, and 3 times, right? Now let's see what are the boundaries that it has on the upside. Now see this price, can you see so very clear, there is no discrepancy here. You can see that it, see this price it touched in 2010, which is 352, and then again it touched the price a few days back, right, on 23rd of October. This is a weekly graph I'm using. 23rd of October 2017, the stock bounced back, like it came down from the same price, which is 250 352, right? This is a weekly graph. You can see very clear resistances and the supports. Now let me take you here. This is something I can see very clearly, a very clear resistance level, right? So see here, once, then you can see from, no, here, this is one resistance, second time resistance, third time resistance, and I'm sure somewhere it must have become a support as well. Like here it has become almost like a support, a few points below, but then quickly bounced back from there. So what I would suggest, if you want to trade in futures and options, just master 2-3 stocks, 2-3 volatile stocks, which give you good momentum every day, and you should be able to know their directions. You should be able to know what's happening in those stocks every day. For example, let me take you to another stock which I feel is very important and good. Its options are also very volatile. See, SBI has good volatility in the options. Kotak Mahindra Bank. So Kotak Mahindra Bank, if you look into its support and the resistance zones, so see here, 996 or 993 is a very good support zone, right? It has, the stock has taken time and again support from the same level, right? See here, this is again another support level, which is 1031. What are the resistance levels here? 111, 1113, right? Those are the resistance level. And if it crosses these resistances with huge volumes, then the stock actually takes an upward flight. Okay, now let's see this particular point. You can see same, many a times stock has taken resistance from the same level, which is 727. So once it went up, came down, then went up, came down, then went up, came down, then went up, came down, and again fifth time it went up and came down. But later on it crossed that 727 level with volumes, right? It crossed this 727 level with volumes, and once that happened, the 740 level, sorry, this is a 740 level, when it crossed this with volumes, it has just taken an upward flight after that. All right, this is another support level of Kotak Mahindra Bank, 597 or 600, whatever you want to call it. That's again a support level. Okay, so each stock has its favorite support and the resistance zones. Infi also has its own support and the resistance levels, and it keeps on, so Infi is not going to give you a good picture. Why? Because the stock has taken, there has been a split in the stock, so let's just avoid it. But let's see Reliance. What's Reliance? How is it performing? How it's behaving? So look into this. You will be able to see clear supports and the resistances. So the support that Reliance had was at 397, and then it had a good support at level of 468, and the resistance it had is what was at 540. Once, twice, thrice, 4, 5 times it has taken a resistance. Then you can see a good support level at 654, right? And then you can see a good support level at 764, and then you can see a good support level at 881, right? And from there you can see a good clear bounce coming in, right? See, many times it has bounced back from the same level. So these are very important. And although we're not supposed to do intraday here, but let me tell you, in case you plan to do intraday trading, your time frame should be 1 hour, right? To time frame to find out the support and the resistance level should be 1 hour, right? So here you can see this becomes your support level, right? Here you have another support level. So every time the stock touches these support levels or the resistance levels, it is definitely going to be bouncing back or up from there, right? be assured that definitely a bounce will happen. Okay, so this is about, and please remember one thing, that support and the resistances matter a lot when you're doing equity trading, or even if you're doing positional trade in stocks with the future, or anything for that matter. It definitely matters quite a lot. Let's say Tata Motors. Tata Motors, let's find out its supports and the resistances. So see, one support level that I can see of is here, which is 325. Then I can see another support level as 329, right? Oh, this is 1 hour. I need to take, since I'm talking about one, like I would prefer to do it on one day. So 325 is a very, very huge support level for the stock. Okay, there was a very, very huge support level out here, which was at 374, right? Which was at 374. Then you see here, the other support level that you see here is this at 435, right? Then you can see here, like this is also a supply zone. I mean, you can see that support zone, sorry, rather supply, I would say support zone. So 284, right? Similarly, let's see what are the resistances that it has. Okay, so let me just draw a few resistances. So this is a resistance, clear resistance. Once, twice, 3 times. 1 or 2 points here and there doesn't make a difference. Remember that. If a point here and there, it doesn't make a difference at all, right? So if the resistance was 598 or 600, so it went up to 611, it doesn't matter much. It is considered at the same resistance. Again, took a resistance from the same level, came down. Again, took a resistance, means it has a great difficulty in crossing 600, right? The stock is not being able to cross 600. So 600 is the boundary the stock has. Now see here, there is another level that I could identify, this, right? It's again a support as well as the resistance level. Earlier it was behaving as a resistance. I can show you with the help of a pen. Earlier this was behaving as a resistance, right? Same level. Now later on it has become the support, right? How do we get to see that? It became a support. See, from the same level stock bounced back. See here, the stock has taken a bounce from the same level once and twice. So whatever are the, and then again it has taken the resistance from the same level. Bouncing, see here, this is again a bounce almost from the same level, and then again it took a resistance. So the supports and the resistances are interchangeable, means sometimes the supports become resistance and resistance becomes support. You have to know them well in advance, so you know on a particular day if a stock has opened gap up and you know that this is its resistance level, you can always create a shorting position. So this is, let's see something, like let's see how is it possible for us to create position, when we know the support and the resistance levels. So there is, we have drawn this level, right? This level we have drawn. Let's see if I could get some recent example on this. I will be able to tell you how do you really do it. Now, for example, this, right? We know that the stock has a good support level at 325. Now, look into this day. Look into this day, which is 26th of April. So let me take the time frame and 26th of April, and we'll see what's happening on that day. (26th of April). Here is 26th April, right? Now stock opened, wherever it closed, it almost opened there only. And we know that the very, very important level for Tata Motors is this level, which is 325. And it didn't even go there. It bounced back a few points before it. Means we could have created our long position. And see here, from here till what point did it go? It started from 328 and it went up to 351. Good about 23 points. It's a huge amount. It's a huge amount, right? And if you see how much is the lot size, 1500 is the lot size. 1500 into 30, 45,000 would have been your profit. So knowing these supports and the resistances are very important, right? Let's see in one day, why did it take resistance from this level, right? Let me just mark it and we will see, has it taken resistance from the same level in the past. So see here, this is, you know, this is where it took a resistance. If you see here on 18th, you can see at the bottom, 16th of April, it took the resistance from the same level. Again, it took the resistance from the same level on 19th of March, right? 2017. So this is basically 352 is a support, is a resistance zone for this particular stock, right? So 352 was a recent level of resistance for Tata Motors, and that is why it has repeatedly taken resistance, right? So 352 is out here, right? And it has taken a support in the past. So supports will become resistance later on. Remember that. So see here, this is 352. Stock has taken support in this particular area. If you notice, it has taken support at 352 time and again over here. This particular part, the stock has taken support once, twice, and 3 times, and the same level it has taken. Recently it has taken resistance. Recently it has taken resistance from the same level here. So this level 352 once, twice, thrice, and when it crossed, if it crosses with volume, that's a good sign, but it couldn't sustain itself. It experienced another resistance, right? Another resistance was it 375, came down. Every time it cannot cross the barriers, it will come down. Okay, so these are the, these are the levels that you have to notice. And I would say if you can master one stock, maybe 1 or 2 stocks, maybe you can, what you can really do is you can actually have 2-3 stock, one from banking sector, one from FMCG, one from the banking sector, one from the automobile sector. Like that, if you have one stock each, you should know their historical data, and you should be able to draw this support and resistance, and you should be able to figure out good trades from these supports and the resistance levels. So hope I have made sense, and hope you all could understand what I'm trying to say, right? So with this, we'll go on to the next slide and understand what is happening next. So every time, just let me conclude it. Whenever I need to trade in a stock, I definitely look for its recent supports and the resistances, or in the past, was there a resistance? So see here, as I told you, this particular region has behaved as a support in the past, 352. So it's not necessary if it was a support earlier. Now what will happen to this? It can behave as a resistance. So there is quite a good probability that it can behave as a resistance, right? And which is what the stock has actually done, right? So if you know resistances and the supports, you will be able to create better positions, right? You will be able to create better positions. See this beautiful support at 136 in the past. It touched, bounced back, touched, bounced back, touched, bounced back, touched, bounced back, and so on and so forth, right? This was a beautiful support level. So every time you see these peaks or the valleys, please remember those are the places where stock has taken a sharp support. Means those are very strong supports and the resistances. So one thing that I can tell you, if you want to understand support and resistance, you can watch one YouTuber. I really like his candlestick analysis, and he does it in 1 minute, but you can do it in one day, because we are talking about the positional trades, so you have to talk about it in one day, right? And that YouTuber is Trusted Spots, right? Just watch his videos. I really enjoy watching his videos. Trusted Trusted Spot, right? Watch his videos, like I find them very, very good. He keeps posting, about supports and the resistances and various, candlestick patterns. So I would say that run through it. He does it in, forex, but definitely I mean, it doesn't matter where you are using, but how you're using that matters. So for us, the time frame is going to be 1 day and 1 hour, although he uses it in 1 minute, right? But what I want you to see, the street smartness of this guy in applying the supports and the resistance. Particularly watch his candlestick pattern and the supports and the resistances, right? You will be able to understand quite a lot, right? I watch his videos. I find it very, very nice, like, because I love watching his analysis and I feel pretty good. So right now Tata Motors is on a good place where it could, it could fall. If it goes further from here, then the a downfall can be expected, but if it honors the support, it may bounce back from here. So guys, this was about supports and the resistances. Now we're going to go on to the next slide, which is about, again, the support. Next slide, it talks about uh, FII data. But I think before that, I have to find out what are moving averages and how to interpret price movement based on moving averages and moving averages as support and the resistance. So let me take you to the next slide. We meet over there. Till then, see you there. Oh God.